The 2021 season. Blank game week, free hit. Martial, Fernandes. Leeds United not having a double game week in 19, even though I've been planning for that for a while. But nothing beats Raheem Sterling taking a penalty when Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan are on the pitch. Hello there, hope you're having a great Thursday. What is up, guys, and welcome to FPL Today and the Game Week 19, Double Game Week 19 Team Selection video, where I go over how I did in Game Week 18 and then look at my plans for Game Week 19, which is a double game week, and hopefully it will help you with your FPL decisions and your FPL rank. So guys, you've been smashing the support recently, so if we could hit that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell for FPL, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're on our road, hopefully this year, for 20k subscribers. So thank you guys so much for the support over the years. It's much appreciated. Make sure if you haven't already to hit that subscribe, and let's get into this video. So we start off with how I'm doing so far, and I'm actually recording this as the Spurs game is on, and Spurs have just conceded, which means I lose some points, which is really unfortunate for me. Yes, I don't have Reguilón, so that's some clean sheet points out the window, but the players for me that have returned, and don't worry, I'm not going to go over this for very long because this free hit hasn't been that successful, is Cancelo and Kevin De Bruyne from Manchester City. Now, De Bruyne, in a game where he was looking dangerous, had some good chances, but at one point blasted it straight at the keeper. Did assist Foden, which is fantastic. Did get assisted by Ilkay Gundogan, which you'll see why I was annoyed about, but then didn't score the chance. And then did win a penalty, which he decided not to take. They gave it to Raheem. I know why. He hasn't scored in a while. Give him some confidence. But no, just give it to Kevin De Bruyne. Or give it to Ilkay Gundogan. Just someone that can take a penalty, not Raheem Sterling. So, of course, Raheem Sterling blasted that over the bar. So, 12 points from De Bruyne, who was my captain, so that's 6 points doubled. And Cancelo getting the clean sheet. That's about as successful as my game week is going, apart from the fact that at the moment, Harry Kane does have 5 points. The graphics will show how many points exactly he has right now, but Kane has returned for me, fortunately, from that Reguilón cross, the one Spurs defender that I don't have, of course, although I did consider him. Then everyone else is pretty disappointing. We've got Lloris, doesn't get the clean sheet. We've got Saiss. I was hopeful for a pretty boring game in that one, and Everton turned up and managed to score 2 goals without Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Son hasn't got anything to show yet in the Fulham game. Fernandes didn't score. Martial had chances, didn't seem like he wanted to score. And Gundogan, unfortunately, although he did have chances to score and get assists, didn't get on the score sheet. So it's a pretty disappointing free hit, but caveat, the free hit, the whole purpose of it was so I didn't ruin my team for the game that's coming up. The current global pandemic is doing a good enough job of ruining my team as it is, so I don't need to be ruining the team myself for a blank game week. The bench isn't looking much better with Clark getting 2 points and Brewster getting 1, but I suppose it'd be an annoying game week if I had any points on the bench. So, right now, underneath my camera, you will see what my current game week rank is after the Spurs game has finished. Unfortunately, we still have Tierney and Saka to play. So, we're hopeful of some points. Hopefully, Tierney can assist Saka 3 times in a row or something, so we can really say this has been a successful free hit. Otherwise, the free hit, all it's done is meant I haven't changed my side too much for this blank game week. I would say let's go and be more positive now, but the player at risk is, of course, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is unfortunately injured with a hamstring injury, and we are not sure when he will be back in action. He's currently one of the few players I have that doesn't have a double game week if we don't include the Leeds players, because if you didn't know, unfortunately Leeds look like they're not having a double game week in Game Week 19 like was scheduled, which, again, very annoying. But we move. Apart from Dominic Calvert-Lewin and the 2 Leeds players who do still have Brighton Hove Albion at home, which we're hopeful for some points in that one, is Son with a single game week with Sheffield United away. Now, I'm okay with that. So Dominic Calvert-Lewin with the injury in a single game week is the one I'm considering moving on, although we may take a -4 this game week to see if we can sort out a better double game week side. A caveat on top of all this, of course, is the fact that Taylor is also an injury concern, as well as Che Adams, which means I'm not looking too great for this double game week, which I've been planning for since about game week 12 or 13. So, cheers, pandemic. Thanks a lot. So before we go on to our team selection for Double Game Week 19, do check out partners of the channel, Fantasy Football Hub, top link in the description down below. All the data on FPL Today is taken from the Fantasy Football Hub, with tools such as player comparison to choose the best players out of 2 options, Opta-Stats tables to see who could be hitting form soon and who will be amongst the goals, and a fixture ticker so you know who has not just the form but also the fixtures to match, and so much more, like articles and coverage of other fantasy football games. Ask yourself why you haven't joined the Fantasy Football Hub. It's just £2 a month to unlock your FPL potential. Thank you, Fantasy Football Hub, for partnering with the channel. If you do want access to the stats and a fixture ticker that we use here on FPL Today, do check them out, and let's get on with the team selection. So we start off, as always, with our goalkeeper and defence, and we have Martinez in goal with Everton and Man City. Everton's at home, we're hopeful for clean sheet points there, and Martinez is capable of getting quite a few saves in the game. So overall, we don't really need to be worried about our goalkeeper too much. We then have Cresswell, who was deliberately brought in quite early in the season, maybe about game week 10, 11, with the idea that he would most likely have a double game week, and it comes to fruition, hopefully, with Burnley and West Brom both at home. Hopeful of points in this one, and West Ham have a very good double game week, so we could be looking for potential transfers in that West Ham side. Robertson with Man United and Burnley at home is also promising, although do I really think Man United won't score against Liverpool? To be honest, the way Liverpool are playing, it wouldn't surprise me if this is the game they do turn up for, but a clean sheet doesn't look too likely. But hopefully we get some assist points from Robertson. And then Burnley at home, hopefully there's a clean sheet in that one. Dallas was brought in for the double game week. It does say he has a double game week on the graphic, but tonight it does look like the Southampton game has been postponed. So it looks like only a single game week for Dallas and one of our forwards, which we'll get onto. And then moving on to the midfield, we have Son, Fernandes, Grealish, Salah, and Anguissa because of Calvert-Lewin's injury. Now, Anguissa has actually looked decent in games, and to be honest, right now, Fulham are drawing 1-1 with Tottenham Hotspurs. That score could be different when this video goes up. But Fulham don't look too bad. Chelsea at home and Man United at home, though, isn't the greatest fixtures. However, the rest of my midfielders have good fixtures. Son, of course, with that single game week, but it is against Sheffield United away. Then Fernandes with Liverpool away and Fulham away, which we're hopeful of. Fernandes does tend to do well away, although he has recently managed to blank in away games, which, again, disappointing. But Grealish, Everton at home, Man City away, that's okay. And Salah with Man United at home and Burnley at home, most likely going to be my captain going into this game week. Unlikely to use any chips, though. So hopefully Salah can do well in this one, but there is the caveat that if he gets triple captained by a lot of people, then that's a bit of a concern. And then up front we have Bamford and Che Adams. Bamford, of course, again, not with a double game week anymore, and Che Adams with an injury concern. So that is a problem. However, we are going to keep an eye on the press conferences and see if we can keep Che Adams with Leicester away and Leeds away. Not the greatest fixtures for Southampton, but Southampton do look like a very good side at the moment, so we're okay with Che Adams, although he has stopped getting those returns for us recently. And then on the bench is a bit of a mess. Calvert-Lewin, of course, still there for now with that injury and that Aston Villa game. We've got Robinson with Chelsea at home and Man United at home. At least he's still got the double game week, but not hopeful of any clean sheet points from Robinson. And Taylor, again an injury concern with West Ham and Liverpool both away. Steer not going to play because Martinez is between the sticks. So, although there's lots of double game week players in there, am I hopeful for a good return? If this season's taught me anything, because I'm not hopeful, fingers crossed, maybe we get something. And then we look at potential transfers, and the first player we are looking at is Antonio at 6.2 million. Now, caveat here, this is a complete punt because he has got injury issues right now, and in the last 6 game weeks he's literally played 44 minutes. So I will be looking at the press conference, and if it looks like Antonio might start and his minutes will be managed, but because of West Ham's great fixtures going into this one, and the fact that he's one of the only forwards at the club still, for now, we are looking at Antonio. The underlying stats don't really support this either. It is a complete punt, but the fixtures are good enough for West Ham that I might just take that risk, considering it's been one of those seasons. But then the more serious transfer consideration is Kevin De Bruyne, 11.8 million. Now, Man City have just really annoyed me in Game Week 19. However, he is now looking promising as far as his performances go, and could have had a haul quite easily in this game if he had better finishing, and also if Raheem Sterling could take a penalty. Over the last 6 game weeks, he has managed 13 shots on goal, 3 big chances coming from those, and a 1.74 expected goals with only 1 goal scored, and also 14 key passes with 5 big chances created and 2.62 expected assists, with 3 assists coming from that and 31 points in total. Issue is, how do I get him in? Because right now the only player I can really transfer out for Kevin De Bruyne would most likely be Heung-min Son, who overall isn't really a player I want to get rid of. But Kevin De Bruyne is the player that I'm going into this game week wanting the most. Anyway guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, remember to do the things that help support the channel out so much. You guys have been smashing the support, so keep going with that like button, that subscribe, and that notification bell for FPL. And check out Fantasy Football Hub, top link in the description, if you want to support the channel in any way and want access to stats and fixture tickers. With that being said, don't stress too much about FPL if it has been a terrible blank game week for you, and if your team isn't as ready for double game week as you want. Just take it as one of those seasons where it's just a bit crazy. Have some fun with it. That's what I've been trying to do, despite the fact that I was quite negative at the beginning of this video, because I have quite literally come from watching the Man City game and now I've just seen Spurs lose that clean sheet. So probably not the best time to record a video, but I'm now a school teacher in the morning, so I've got to get these videos in when I can, and that is at night time. So with that being said, I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.